Welcome to the Friday night broadcast, Indian Hill versus Wyoming at Indian Hill High School. This is the JV game featuring the Indian Hill Braves and the Wyoming Cowboys here on January 26th. They're introducing players from both teams. The Wyoming Cowboys have already been introduced. Now the Indian Hill Braves will come out. This is Jack Alley and Chuck Taft broadcasting.
As the Braves get introduced, Jack, I'd like to tell you everybody that this is the second game of the season, or second meeting of the season between these two teams. The Indian Hill Braves won the first meeting 64-55 back in December. Both teams are having trouble in the league. Indian Hill's 3-5, and I believe the reserves for Wyoming are also 3-5. And the Wyoming reserves are 4-8 overall, while Indian Hill has a record of 7-6.
Yeah, they've introduced the starting lineup here, and both teams breaking from their huddle. One of the officials asked us just a few minutes ago if I just lost. Okay. One of the officials asked just a few minutes ago about getting a copy of the broadcast, and I'm sure we'll be glad to help accommodate them. Jumping center for the Braves is going to be number 42, Brendan Flood. Braves are starting number 32, Grant Collinsworth, number 23, Chris Hamilton, number 24, Tad DeBoard, and number 21, Brian Walker, in addition to Brendan Flood. Tips up, goes to Brian Walker, and he hits it right away. 2-0 Indian Hill. Took it right to the basket.
That's pretty good for Brian Walker. He had a hot game against Wyoming the first night that they played. He scored 17 points.
Press. Wyoming beats the press handily. Trying to take the charge was number 24, Tad DeBoard, but the officials ruled that a block, and the basket was good. Number 43 at the line.
Matt Mefford, he is a freshman who has been brought up to the JV squad. Brother of Mike Mefford, who played at Wyoming a couple years ago.
They tied the score, 2-2, one free throw. Free throw's good. And officials are conferring about the basket. I guess neither one noticed whether it went in or not. They'll probably come over here and ask us for a tail of the tape, perhaps. They're asking at the bench over there, did the basket go in? And
the basket did count by Matt Mefford.
So the one free throw.
Just one foul shot, 3 points.
So the ball will be out of bounds.
Should be Indian Hill ball underneath the basket.
Free throw was good.
It's an easily correctable error. And I believe the refs are going to go over to talk to Coach Jeff Hoover, the Braves, and also Steve Bell of the Wyoming Cowboys to explain the situation. While we have this time, we can go over the Wyoming starting lineup. Number 11, Matt Fisher, a sophomore guard. Number 22, Chris Renegarb, a sophomore guard. Number 43, as we said, Matt Mefford, a freshman center. Number 33, Jared Fay. And rounding out number 21, Jason Johnson.
Okay, the Wyoming put on a press that time. The Braves attempted to get the ball up the floor quickly. They do it again. This time it's a pass ahead to number 32, Grant Collinsworth. He misses the layup, and Wyoming the other way. Braves are in a man-to-man. A little 2-1-2 offense by the Cowboys. Not doing a whole lot of screening here, just a little bit of cutting. Looking for a three-point shot. Would have been 3 if it had counted. He missed it. Up the floor. Chris Hamilton.
I think what we're going to see in the game tonight is we're going to see a lot of what just happened there. Chris Hamilton is going to drive to the hoop. He's a real good penetrator. He's big with his left hand, and he really likes to take it into the lane up among the big boys.
Braves had a little trap there. Nice block by Brian Walker. Recovered by Chris Hamilton. And back to Brian Walker on the layup. Nice move it down the floor, and nice job giving it up by Grant Collinsworth. Brian Walker to the line, 2 shots.
Chris Renegar is first, the team first.
First team foul on the Cowboys. 4-3 Braves. Walker has a chance. Shoot 2. First one just bounces out. See if he makes this, if the Braves will go into any kind of a full court press. No, he misses it. The Cowboys hustle up the floor. They had a man down the floor, didn't see him. Nice pickoff by Brian Walker. Goes the other way, it bounces off the back of the rim, and it's Wyoming ball.
Brian really needs to use the backboard on that. At least take an angle and kiss it softly off the glass because those rims are tight.
Braves back in their man-to-man. Wyoming now going a little the high-low situation. The big man at the high post. See if they screen away for him. He's trying to get the ball down low. Shot by number 11. Matt Fisher is no good, and the Braves once again beat the Cowboys down the floor. Number 32, Grant Collinsworth with the layup. Nice pass down the floor. Beat the Cowboys down the floor that time. Once again, the Cowboys just moving the ball around the perimeter. And now they send somebody to the high post.
Looks like the Braves are playing a little matchup zone. Nice steal by Brendan Flood.
And jump ball. Good hustle, way to get on the floor by number 43, Matt Mefford for the Cowboys. Coach will enjoy that, seeing him go to the floor, one of the biggest men, and he really hustled to get down and get the ball. Easy inbounds out of play. Let's see, they swing it all the way to the other side for a possible 3. It's no good, but a good rebound by number 43, Matt Mefford on the weak side. And that puts the score at 6 for the Braves and 5 for the Cowboys. A little trouble for Chris Hamilton in the corner, and now the Braves had it back out. Zone defense by the Cowboys. Nice inside no-look pass by Chris Hamilton, and Brendan Flood puts it in.
It was a real good look by Chris Hamilton, driving in and then getting it to the open man from underneath. Ted DeBoer with the rebound. Brian Walker's going to push it up for the Braves, and Jack Johnson's going to strip it from behind. Looks like the Braves are going to pull it out on their offense. Chris Hamilton upside will probably look for him to penetrate. Nice skip pass over the corner to Brian Walker.
He rebounds his own shot, kicks it back out. And this zone is pretty porous right now. Brian Walker and Chris Hamilton both are able to drive in and get off decent shots pretty quick, close to the basket. Nice dish off by number 21, Jason Johnson. And forced the issue as Wyoming player had a chance to either go out of bounds or make a pass. He threw it right to an Indian Hill player, and they're still in their 2-3 zone on defense. Got a high-low post inside, 2 men inside. They don't look there, though. They look to the other side. Running Brendan Flood across the baseline. There he is. Nice pass inside by Brian Walker. Brendan Flood elects not to take that shot. There it is inside, and for a 3, Grant Collinsworth.
That's the guy. That is exactly the guy that the Braves are going to want to get open up on the outside. Sometimes when Grant gets hot, he can really just start lighting it up the scoreboard with the 3s.
Nice ball movement there to get him open. Look inside and then kick it back out. And a little bit of a reach foul on the part of the Braves. Not in the bonus yet, so it'll be Wyoming ball out of bounds. And we have a substitute coming into the game. It's number 42, Mike Walker, for the Cowboys. 5'10", 165-pound sophomore. See on the inbounds play if they try to run that same play. Nope, right inside to Mike Mefford, and Brian Walker gets a piece of it. Nice block and pushes it up the floor. Grant Collinsworth stops on the jump stop. Just a little bit long off the back of the iron. And here comes Wyoming again on offense. They pushed it up. Nice move inside, but a foul on Brendan Flood. Needs to move his feet a little bit.
Yeah, that's just a case where Brendan really needs to just shuffle the feet. Doesn't have to cross over anything. Instead of reaching, just get a nice position and maybe get the charge and get the ball going the other way for the Braves.
Third team foul, so it'll be out of bounds to the Wyoming Cowboys. So again, they're in their box situation. Let's see if they look underneath. They kick it up, kick it around, and back for the three. Like their designated shooter is number 22, Chris Renegarb. He missed that one, and Braves come away with the rebound. Brian Walker, good penetration, but he forgets to bring the ball with him. And number 21, Jason Johnson. Power move to the basket. He's fouled by number 23. Saving a basket was Chris Hamilton. It'll send him to the line. 2 shots.
23, Chris Hamilton, his first of being 4. At the line with 2 shots, Jason Johnson.
It appears as though at least 3 men on the Wyoming club have a definite role. At number 21, Jason Johnson seems to be the ball handler penetrator. Number 43, Matt Mefford, big man on the board, and the guy they looked at high post, low post. And number 22, Chris Renegarb, as their 3-point shooter. See if they can get the other 2 gentlemen involved in the offense as well.
And that's the first point by a Cowboy who is not wearing the number 43, as Mefford did score the first 5 of the game for him.
Renegarb gets the rebound and kicks it over to number 42, Mike Walker. Nice partial block. Grant Collinsworth comes away with the loose ball.
Looks like that's Brian Walker. I think that's his 3rd block of the game already.
Very athletic.
He's also an outstanding pitcher. Looks like the Braves are going to take a look at trying to move it in on the baseline against this 2-3.
Nice hustle. Be a long rebound off of that shot, and the Braves were able to come up with it out of bounds. That's off the foot of a Wyoming player, and so the Braves will have the ball. So again, there's a 2-3 zone being played by the Wyoming Cowboys, and the Braves so far seem to want to attack that on the side down near the baseline. They've looked inside and then looked on near the baseline. There's the ball again to the baseline. Flood gives it up to the other side. And Chris Hamilton elects to put it back out, but he double dribbled. Too many moves on the inside, and it goes over to Wyoming. Now the Braves do look like they're going to pick them up full court. It is a man full court. Now they're going to trap a little bit off of that. Wyoming's taking their time moving it up. And a nice attempt by Brendan Flood on the high lob pass. Knocked out of bounds. 2 more Braves are going to come in.
We're going to have number 25, Brian Combs, entering the game, and 22, Kevin Smith. Brian is a junior. Kevin is a sophomore.
Well, the Braves pretty much got what they wanted out of that last press, at least the chance to get a hand on it for a possible steal. Now here goes Wyoming. Here their penetrator, number 21, Jason Johnson. He misses. Their rebounder, it looked like he might have traveled a little bit, but they did call a foul on number 42, Brendan Flood.
I think it's obvious that what the Braves are going to have to do is just get a body on Matt Mefford. I do agree. I think he might have shuffled his feet a little, but there's no excuse for not at least getting 1 hip on him and trying to box him out. It's about his 4th really clear rebound under the board. Another Brave is going to enter the game, number 33, A.J. Hill, who will come in for Brendan Flood.
2 shots for Matt Mefford. First one is good.
Actually, it's 1 in the bonus.
1 in the bonus? Okay.
Yeah. And Matt Mefford has scored 8 points already in the first quarter. 8 of the 9.
Little zone 2-1-2 on the part of the Cowboys. Braves break it pretty easily, getting up the side. Into A.J. Hill in the middle. And he penetrates, puts it in.
It's a nice move by A.J. Hill coming right off the bench.
Second attempt to press the Cowboys. The Wyoming breaks it this time. We're 33. Jared Fay had a clear look at the basket, decided to send it back out and let Jason Johnson run the offense. Look inside. Braves are doing a good job getting their hand on the ball. Nice look there. Loose ball and nice pass inside by Jason Johnson. Just wouldn't go. And a nice rebound by A.J. Hill. And here come the Braves. So again, they'll look inside, and then they'll look to the weak side to see that man coming along on the baseline.
We got about 48 seconds left in the half.
That pass wasn't quite there. Maybe a bounce pass. Nice cross court and a good interception
by Kevin Smith for the
Kevin
Braves.
Smith. Did a nice job looking there. Braves look like they're going to play for 1 shot now.
27 seconds left in the first quarter. 13-9 for the Braves.
Be interesting to see who they're trying to set up for this shot. Kevin Smith coming over to the far baseline.
I would expect
Hill open in the middle.
I would expect it they're either to go into A.J. Hill or see it in the Grant Collinsworth's hand.
Brian Walker does a nice job looking inside. He thought he was fouled, and it is a shot by Brian Combs. Missed, and Wyoming elects not to try to push the ball up the floor. And the score is 13-9. Indian Hill Braves are the Wyoming Cowboys at the end of the first quarter.
My ear's still ringing.
Be good.
It's my specialty.
Okay, we're in the second quarter. Beginning of the second quarter, Indian Hill with the ball out of bounds. To take the ball out of bounds and entering the game for the Braves, number 30.
Terrence McDaniel.
Terrence McDaniel in the game.
This is actually Terrence's first game of the season. Cowboys are going to stay in their 2-3.
So again, the Braves look inside. They look to that baseline now. A nice skip pass across the court. They find Terrence in the corner. A little bit of a trap on him. He looks inside to A.J. Hill. A nice spin move. And what could have been a block, but they call a foul on number 41, Curtis Carter, for the Cowboys. And that'll send A.J. Hill to the line for 2. That's only the second team foul on the Cowboys. The way the Braves have been challenging inside, it's odd that there would only be 2 team fouls. A.J. Hill shoots the first one. No good. There was a Wyoming Cowboy who had sneaked down to the other end. The Braves didn't see him until after that free throw, but it was a 2-shot free throw. Nobody was going to move anyway. They move him back now. It'll be interesting to see if the Braves once again keep that press on that they had on at the end of the first quarter. Second one is good. They have the opportunity to press if they want to. And the Cowboys get it down. If it was a man press, somebody didn't get to their guy quickly. We don't have number 43, Matt Mefford, in. A nice basket by Jared Fay, number 33. And that brings the Cowboys within 2. It's 14-12.
It also brings out the Cowboy press. It looks like the Braves are going to need some help on that. Brian Walker was left all alone.
Nice attempt by number 42, Mike Walker, to take the ball to the basket, but he lost the handle somewhere along the way. Probably on that press breaker, Brian Walker wants to give it up to one of the guards before he gets too close to the defense.
But I think Brian's only problem was there was no guard close enough for him to give it up to.
Once again, they attack the basket, kick it back out. Braves showing a lot more discipline tonight than they showed the last cable game that we broadcast. They played Bethel Tate a couple of weeks ago.
In the game for the Braves right now is 30 Terrence McDaniel, 22 Kevin Smith, 25 Brian Combs, 33 A.J. Hill, and number 21 Brian Walker.
Cowboys perimeter shooter, number 22, Chris Renegarb. They give it up. A nice save, nice attempt by Brian Combs. Very athletic move, but the official said that he shuffled his feet first.
I would not have been surprised on that, Jack, if A.J. Hill might have thrown that one down with a little enthusiasm, because he can shake the rim.
Oh, he didn't touch it, so I guess Brian Combs hustles to get the ball. Gives it back to Wyoming, though. Both teams playing just a little bit out of control.
Another block by Walker. And Kevin Smith grabs the rebound.
Brian Walker attacks the basket. Does not follow his shot. Wasn't boxed out, but there is a foul underneath. It's going to be on Terrence McDaniel over the back. The Wyoming ball out of bounds. The Braves picking up their man. So it's not a full court press. Just to stand with the 2 guards. 22, Chris Renegarb gets it back. The Cowboys are in there back in their offense. So once again, a 2-1-2. Looking at that high post man, and then every once in a while they'll send him low. hoping to get the ball to him as he comes down the lane. Nice pass from number 33, Jared Fay, to number 41, Curtis Carter, with a lay-in.
Real nice dish by Jared Fay.
Braves beat the press, and A.J. Hill takes it to the basket. 16-14 Braves. So again, the two guards are pressing in the backcourt. Chris Renegard comes up to give him some help. And Wyoming's now back in its offense. A little bit of a mismatch there. Number 30, Terrence McDaniel, probably a little not quite as quick on his feet with Chris Renegard. Once again, the Braves push it up the floor. Touch out of bounds as they're trying to push the ball as deep as they can before they go to the basket. It'll be Wyoming ball out of bounds.
I'm surprised that Coach Bell for Wyoming hasn't put Mefford back in. He had 8 points in that first quarter, and he didn't. As he's a freshman, but he didn't play in the freshman game, so he's obviously very fresh.
Well, they may be, if they're struggling a little bit on the varsity level, and I think they are, he may be have enough bulk as a freshman that he can help out and bang the boards a little bit in the varsity game. So they may be saving a quarter or two.
You might see him have some time up at the varsity game tonight. The leading scorer actually in the first game between these two teams was Sean Moore, and he's a sophomore for Wyoming, and he's not going to play JV because he's been brought up to varsity.
Out of bounds, off of Indian Hill. It's still Wyoming ball. Got everybody pretty close in a stack. Let's see if they try to peel somebody off and throw the lob to the basket. Braves are in position to take that. Nice pass inside, and the ball is taken to the basket strongly by number 41, Curtis Carter. On the second attempt, he is fouled, and that'll send him to the line for 2 shots. That's the 16th foul on the Braves. This is a 2-shot shooting foul.
Carter has the opportunity right now to tie the ball game if he can sink those two. Tad DeBoard is going to return for the Braves. Tad had 5 points in the first meeting between these two teams, and Curtis Carter, who is at the line, had 5 points also. Draws some serious iron on his first shot.
See if Wyoming presses. If he makes this one, he misses it. Nice rebound by Chris Renegard. He's surrounded by 4 Braves players and still gets the ball back out. And number 11, Matt Fisher, takes it to the basket, followed by number 41, Curtis Carter. And there's that 2-2-1 press again by the Cowboys. Braves are throwing over top of the press. They get the ball to Terrence McDaniel. Nice jump stop. Nice look at the basket. 2 points. Both he and A.J. Hill have done a nice job against that press, finishing after they've beaten the press. Wyoming calls timeout. They're going to talk it over a little bit, probably try to solve a little bit of that problem with getting the press beaten so easily. The Braves are taking it right to the hole, and there's not enough bodies back there to help out once the initial pass beats the press.
I'm sure that Coach Hoover of Indian Hill is probably telling the Braves to just take a look at the Wyoming press, and they can easily pass over it as they did just now. Then they can get an easy 8-foot jumper. Terrence McDaniel sealed the deal on that last one, but they're really not having a problem with it as long as they get it past those initial 2 guards.
Definite height advantage on the part of the Braves at most positions. They've got to keep number 41, Curtis Carter, away from the boards, and they should be able to get the ball pretty much in a position to get it out on the fast break and go whenever they want to go.
But if Matt Mefford gets back to the game and plays at the same time as Carter, I would give the definite bulk advantage to Wyoming.
Jason Johnson with the inbounds pass. Once again, the Cowboys moving 2 guys along the baseline and having the center just go high-low. Not a whole lot of screening away. Just a lot of movement without the ball. Brian Walker, once again, he pushes it up the floor. He finds Brian Combs. Nice move with the left hand. Chris Hamilton is left-handed. Does a nice job going to the basket. There's Jason Johnson pushing it up. And he carries the ball on his hip. Number 11, Matt Fisher.
Good call by the ref there.
Across the lane. And there's that 2-2-1 press. Braves has a little bit different personnel in there now. Let's see if their guards just a little bit smaller. See if they throw over the top again. Nobody to help out. The trap's there, but the Cowboys playing very soft.
Now this is where Chris really needs to give the ball up, because if there's two on him, obviously math will tell you that one white shirt is open. Nice skip pass by Kevin Smith.
Nice pass by Brian Walker. Terrence McDaniel wasn't quite ready, but he makes it, and he's fouled by number 41, Curtis Carter, and has the chance for the three-point play.
I think that's after he runs the marathon back to center court there.
Makes the score 22-16 in favor of the Braves. They're starting to extend their lead just a little bit, make their free throws, and they have a chance to kind of blow this open a little bit, at least have a nice, comfortable lead going into halftime. 3:37 left in the second quarter. For 52, Nick Monday, a 6'3", 150-pound sophomore, checks in. He takes the place of number 41, Curtis Carter, who had a couple of fouls. Coach is taking him out, needs him for the second half. And Terrence McDaniel makes the free throw. Nice three-point play, and the Braves are back into their press. Soft press, they're really just trying to slow up the Cowboys a little bit. Jason Johnson looks for number 42, Mike Walker, on the three-point play. And there's a nice basket, number 33, Jared Fay. 5-point lead for the Braves. Brian Walker once again pushes it up. There's Terrence McDaniel in that same spot on the baseline. This time, however, it's just a little bit short. Cowboys take the ball off the iron, and they're attacking on offense. Number 33 takes the ball to the hole again. Jared Fay, it's 2 baskets in a row.
I think we're probably going to see, not only is Grant Collinsworth coming in the game for some outside shooting for the Braves, I think we're probably going to see that trap either taken off or they're going to make a little switch
dish
on it.
By Kevin Smith, and then to dad the board to Terrence McDaniel. He puts it in, and he is fouled. Basket's good. And he goes back to the line. Nice inside interior passing by the Braves that time.
Well, for Terrence's first game of the season, he's already pumped in 7 points. He's at the line in for his 8th.
Definitely getting some opportunities. His teammates are looking for him. Terrence McDaniel tries to get the three-point play, but it's off of Brian Walker, out of bounds on the rebound, and the Cowboys have the ball. Once again, the Braves, a little pressure in the backcourt, primarily man pressure, and they'll trap if they can. Get the ball inside. So again, it's soft now, and they give away just right back to a man-to-man. Okay, they're running just a little bit of motion offense by their 2 forwards, but their center's very static. He's either on the low blocks or he's on the high post. Does very little screening. Attempt by number 42. Terrence McDaniel gets a hand in it. Nice cross-court pass from number 33, Jared Fay, to number 42, Mike Walker. And it's 25-22 with 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Once again, Chris Combs penetrates. They're still in that 2-3 zone, is Wyoming. Chris Combs finds Tad DeBoard on the baseline, and it's good, and he was leveled by number 33, Jared Fay. He paid for that one, and he's going to go to the line.
And that's going to be the key to breaking that or beating that 2-3 zone, is have guys like Chris Hamilton or Brian Walker or Grant Collinsworth on the outside penetrate in, and if they have the free lane, just pop it in the basket. If not, make a nice dish. Tad DeBoard followed it on that one, and he's going to go to the line for the three-point play.
Braves are doing a good job of keeping enough spacing that that pass can be made. They're not going to the basket. They're anticipating the pass or the shot, and then going to the spot. So again, a three-point play attempt by Tad DeBoard, and it's good. And there's that token pressure in the backcourt. Braves forget to get back. Number 22, Chris Renegard, beats everybody down the floor, and he's fouled by Terrence McDaniel. And Coach Hoover's not going to be real happy about that. Somebody didn't pick somebody up.
Yeah, it was either, if they were in their man press, obviously it was somebody just didn't know who they were covering or lost them somehow. Or there was a miscommunication on where they should have been in a trap.
Braves really don't have anybody in foul trouble. Neither do the Cowboys. So this has been a fairly cleanly played first half. 2 shots at the line for Chris Renegard. First one is no good. Cowboys probably not shooting the percentage tonight they'd like to.
No, it looks like from the line right now they're 3 for 8. 2 for 2 by Matt Mefford. And Jason Johnson sank 1 out of 2.
Nice long rebound and rebound by Tad DeBoard. He moves the ball down the floor to Terrence McDaniel. Momentarily, Chris Hamilton was open, but a nice recovery by Jason Johnson.
And Terrence waited just 1 dribble too long for that pass. Wyoming has a new big man in, number 53, Randy Lowe.
And he travels.
Yeah, he traveled. He's listed at 5'10", 195. That's a pretty compact-sized man there.
Just the muscle on that guy.
Yeah.
That time, Chris Hamilton looks up the floor, gets the ball, and beats the press that way. Now the Braves are going to go for one. Well, not going to go for one shot. There's about a minute left, but they're going to definitely take a look at this zone.
I think that what they're going to do, Jack, is they're going to be patient, and they want to go into they'd love to go into halftime with an 8-point lead.
Brian Walker tried to force that one in there. Wasn't anything there. Jason Johnson does a nice job pushing the ball up the floor. Foul on Brian Walker. Got a little bit of the ball, but a little bit of the body, and Jason Johnson is down.
Yeah, he fell pretty hard. Could feel the floor rumble a little, and if we get a close-up on him there, he looks like he's not too comfortable.
He came down on the side of his hip. Coach is out to take a look at him.
Might have gotten the wind knocked out of him, or athletic trainer for Indian Hill, Bill Taylor, is over to help him out. A couple Braves help him up. Ted DeBoard showing the sportsmanship.
For the Braves, number 25, Brian Holmes. Replacing McDaniel.
Have a couple substitutions for the Braves. Number 14, freshman Ben Hall in at guard. And number 25, Brian Combs, Jr., returned into the lineup. Terrence McDaniel's going to sit down, but not until he's scored 7 points in his first quarter of the season.
Both teams now have pretty small lineups in. The Braves certainly small in comparison to what they had originally, and without number 43, Matt Mefford, or number 41, Curtis Carter in, the Cowboys are a little bit short in terms of rebounds also.
I think the chances of Matt Mefford playing in the varsity game seem to get a little higher and higher. They can play in 5 quarters in any one afternoon or evening. Matt did play in the first quarter. He might play maybe in one more quarter in the second half and leave him eligible for 3 quarters in the varsity game.
Matt Fisher entered the game to shoot the free throws for Jason Johnson. He canned the second one. It's now 28 for the Braves, 24 for the Cowboys. Skip pass across, and a 3-second call. Probably the Braves don't have their normal big men in going across the baseline, so their guards got caught a little bit, I think, inside that time, looking for the pass instead of moving without the ball.
That 3-second call seems to be it's a lost rule. You rarely see them. I actually saw one in an NBA game the other day, and my jaw fell to the floor. I didn't think that was a rule anymore, except for in 8th and 7th grade games where they call them all the time.
And they have that wider lane, so it's much easier to camp out in there. Okay, they run a little bit of the old wheel offense now, just ducking behind the 2 men at the high post. Looks like they're playing for one shot. They find the man they want. And he forces a shot up, comes off the side.
Good defense by Ben Hall.
Ben Hall did a nice job on that, and the score at halftime is the Indian Hill Braves 28, Wyoming Cowboys 24.
When we return from halftime, we'll try and go over some of the unofficial scores for the first half, and I stress the word unofficial. But as we said at half, it's the Indian Hill Braves 28, Wyoming Cowboys 24. This is an Indian Hill production.
Welcome to the second half of the JV game between Indian Hill and Wyoming, Friday the 26th of January. And the Cowboys are going to have the ball to start the second half.
Braves have a 28-24 lead, and the Braves have been led in the first half by Terrence McDaniel with 7 points. Grant Collinsworth and A.J. Hill had 5. Tad DeBoard also had 5. Brian Walker, Chris Hamilton, and Brendan Flood added 2. For the Wyoming Cowboys, Matt Mefford scored 8 points all in the first half. Jared Fay has 7, Matt Fisher 2, Mike Walker 2, Jason Johnson 1, and Curtis Carter added 4 points in the first half. The Wyoming Cowboys, I believe, unofficially were 38% from the floor, 9 out of 24, while the Braves shot 54%, 13 for 24.
Three-point shot by number 33, Jared Fay. They've got Matt Mefford back in the game. He sat out the second quarter. And reach foul on Wyoming. On the press, they had a little trap in the backcourt. And Chris Hamilton did a nice job splitting that trap, and they reached in and fouled him. So it's going to be Brave ball, start of the half. So again, the Cowboys starting in that 2-3 zone. Let's see how the Braves are going to attack it. Bring a man into the middle, a man on the baseline. Loose ball, retrieved by Chris Hamilton. He drives to the basket, and they rule that he traveled before he split the defense, and it'll be Wyoming ball. Braves go into their man press. Once again, it looks like a soft press. They're not really taking the inbounds pass and trying to stop that. And they do beat the press. Kind of a weak pass on the part of Wyoming. Nice interception by Brian Walker. He's going to push the ball up the floor. Nice no-look pass to Brendan Flood. He misses it, but Tad DeBoard follows, and the ball just won't go in. Curtis Carter on the rebound for the Cowboys. So again, they try to push the ball up the floor, and they're back into their offense.
Looks like the Braves are falling back into a somewhat of a matchup zone.
Cowboys have run that high-low post now. Brian Walker does a nice job stepping in front and stealing the ball. And as he goes to the basket, he can't finish it, unfortunately. Had a man open on the other side. A three-point shot by number 33. Another one by Jared Fay, and the Cowboys are in the lead, 30-28. Tad DeBoard on a nice long pass up the court, but once again it bounces out. And here come the Cowboys.
We're seeing a much different pace than we did at the end of the second quarter, and not at the very end where they were automatically slowing the ball down, but they were much more deliberate on offense throughout the second quarter. Seeing the first 2 minutes of the third quarter, they were really both teams pushing the ball up.
Cowboys got their two horses in there. Curtis Carter takes it up, puts it in. Nice pass from number 33, Jared Fay.
I think we're going to see a timeout coming pretty soon from Coach Hoover. Right, probably right when they get it. Yep.
And there was a little pressure in the backcourt, and it'll be a timeout for Wyoming.
Well, the Braves have been outscored 8-0 actually in the first 2.5 minutes of the third quarter. Jared Fay pumping in 2 3-pointers and also making a nice penetration and dish to Curtis Carter.
We had several shots just go in and out. The Braves missed some easy shots, and the Cowboys shooting pretty good percentage here at the start of the half, especially number 33, Jared Fay. A couple of threes, and that'll get you right back into the game quickly.
I think Coach Hoover is going to try and get the guys to bring up some of their intensity on defense and also try and calm them down a little. Some of the Braves, especially some of their freshmen, have a tendency after they drive and miss a layup to kind of take themselves out for a play or two, not hustling back up the court. And Coach doesn't want to see that. No coach wants to see that, but especially in the game now where they're being outscored 8-0 in the first 2.5 minutes of the third quarter.
Chris Combs replaces Brian Walker. And let's see if that makes the Braves just a little bit shorter. And let's see what they do with that defensively on offense. Once again, they're looking high, looking inside. Skip pass to the other side.
I don't know if I've seen Wyoming go man-to-man yet this evening.
And there's a reach in by number 21, Jason Johnson on the move. Grant Collinsworth on the drive to the basket. Foul is on the floor on the reach, so it'll be out of bounds to the Braves. Set 4 men across the foul line. See who they break to the basket. Break the X right at the basket, but they throw it into Grant Collinsworth for the three. He misses it, but nice retrieval by Chris Combs.
Chris Hamilton.
And they move back into their offense. Tad DeBoard puts it in. The Braves creep back to within 2. Once again, some pressure on the part of the Braves. Number 33, another three. That's 3 in a row by Jared Fay. And that's tough. The Braves did a nice job kind of delaying the ball coming up the floor, but Fay found the right spot. Nice look by Tad DeBoard from the baseline.
Good answer by Tad DeBoard. Tad says that sometimes he'll just heat up, and a lot of what he throws in goes in. He had, I believe, 24 in the JV game last Saturday against Finneytown.
Cowboys are staying with that post. Number 33 again.
Hot
this
hand.
time off the front of the iron. Loose ball. Tad DeBoard does a nice job picking up the loose ball. Misses the shot. And the Cowboys are on the attack. And it looks like the Braves are now on their own version of the 2-3 zone. And number 22, Chris Renegarb finds the basket with a three-point shot.
I don't think Coach Hoover's going to want to take another timeout, but the Braves really got to get out on defense as the Cowboys are rotating the passes.
And a nice basket by Tad DeBoard.
It's 11 for Tad.
So again, the Braves are in that 2-3 zone, but they're having a hard time covering the corners as people break out from the Wyoming breaks somebody out on the baseline, and they're just not finding it.
Matt Mefford with an old-time set shot. I don't think he could have slid one sheet of paper under or below or beneath his feet there. I don't think he got up off the ground too
Chris
well.
Hamilton, nice move to the basket. He split the zone on that one and took it right to the hoop. Nice look inside from number 33, Jared Fay, to Matt Mefford. Reach-in foul on the Braves.
The Braves are really going to have to get out on number 33, Jared Fay. He's hit 3 threes just this quarter, and also he's penetrated and dished twice. Once resulted in a basket, once resulted in a miss. And right here, they got a quick foul. And Fay's going to get a breather, get some water. It's Steve Bell goes to his bench.
Braves in the 2-3 zone on the out-of-bounds play. And nice steal by Chris Combs. Up ahead to Chris Hamilton, back to Chris Combs. Nice give and go, and in the basket.
And that's 2 for Brian Combs.
Brian Combs, thank you. I hope when he sees this tape, Brian will forgive me for calling him Chris Combs.
He will. He's a good kid. Just don't tell him that.
And the Braves trying to bang the boards there with Curtis Carter, and they do a good job. Foul is called on Carter. Braves ball out of bounds.
Chris Carter, his
Third foul on Carter. And the Cowboys fall back into their zone. Now they're in a 1-3-1 now. See what the Braves do with that. They're not going to be able to find much in the middle now. And a tie-up. Number 42, Mike Walker, stuck it in there and tied up. Brendan Flood. Possession arrow points to the Braves, and they'll have the ball out of bounds. So again, the Braves have that 4-man look across the foul line. Now they set up their offense against this 1-3-1. Skip pass. Grant Collinsworth on the miss. Nice rebound by Curtis Carter.
They attacked the 1-3-1 well when they got into the corner and got an open shot on the baseline. Just got to convert that shot and crash the boards.
Another three by Chris Renegarb. Cowboys must have made 7 or 8 of them. How many you got down there, Coach?
We've got 5 for the game so far, but they're really shooting a blistering percentage here in the second half, just in this third quarter. And as we see their hottest hand, Jared Fay, coming back in after his breather.
Brian Combs with a nice penetration to the basket, and he's fouled. He'll be able to go to the line and shoot 2.
Got about 1:44 left in the third quarter. Braves down by 3. Wyoming's up 41-38. Wyoming has 4 fouls, and the Braves only have 1. Could become a factor soon.
Brian Combs can cut into this 3-point lead. He has 2 shots. The first one is off the front of the rim, no good. Second shot is also short, and Curtis Carter retrieves it for the Cowboys. Got their big lineup in again. Got 43 Matt Mefford at the high post and 41 Curtis Carter at the low post. Matt Mefford takes it right to the basket, and he's fouled by Terrence McDaniel. They got the ball into him. He took it to the basket, and instead of taking a charge, the Indian Hill player tried to go up with him, fouled him, and he'll shoot 2.
Matt Mefford really has some nice inside moves for a young freshman. I saw him last year play as an 8th grader, and he was very smooth there. His post play was fantastic, and he's just improved on also. He's a big boy. And it's going to be interesting to see if he's going to get any time in the fourth quarter. We'll see if Steve Bell is going to hold him out to possibly get 3 quarters up at the in the varsity game tonight.
First free throw is good and extends the lead to 4 for the Cowboys.
And one of the things you got to like about Matt Mefford is, for a big guy, he's also 4 for 4 from the line.
Got a nice touch. Nice move to the basket. Just off the front of them. Nice rebound by Terrence McDaniel. Didn't see Brendan Flood inside. He was there. They kick it back to the corner to Brendan Flood. He looks inside to Brian Combs. Nice rebound by Brendan Flood.
And nice putback. Really attacked the zone well there, getting it down to the corner, then looking inside as the zone collapsed on the ball handler in the corner.
Oops. Jason Johnson. Little bit of a bad pass. A little too hard to handle for Jared Fay. And Braves have a chance with a 3 to tie the game up. Been able to hang in there. The 3-point shooting of Wyoming could easily have blown the game open. Braves have hung in real well. Brian Combs a little bit short. Brendan Flood with the rebound. And Chris Hamilton to the backboard. He misses it. But a loose ball is recovered by Brendan Flood, and he puts it in. 1-point lead for the Wyoming Cowboys. Less than 30 seconds left here in the third quarter. They're running that delay stack now on their offense again, looking for somebody from the outside. Really just kind of a delay tactic, see if the Braves will get somebody out of position.
Figure that's the guy they want open. It's Fay.
Just a little bit short. Nice rebound by Curtis Carter. Stick back. And that'll end the quarter and put the Wyoming Cowboys up by 3 at the end of the third quarter. 45 Wyoming, 42 Indian Hill. In the fourth quarter, let's see first of all, which personnel are going to be in the game. Some guys may have to have a quarter save so they can help participate in the varsity game tonight. May make that different lineup, may make a difference in terms of the pace of the game.
I think what Coach Hoover is going to say is that they've just got to stop the outside shooting and the penetration of the Wyoming Cowboys, especially number 33, Jared Fay. He's really hurt him in that quarter. Scored 9 in that quarter, but he also had 2 assists underneath. Depending on what kind of size the Wyoming's going to come out with, we'll probably tell you a little bit about how the Braves are going to either attack or play defense in the fourth quarter. The Braves are going to come out with Brendan Flood, Terrence McDaniel, Kevin Smith, Brian Walker, and it looks like Grant Collinsworth. The Cowboys are going to counter with Chris Renegard, Curtis Carter, Jared Fay, Jason Johnson, and Matt Mefford. So Matt Mefford will get 3 quarters in the JV game. I really think that he's probably the only member of the Cowboys JV squad who's going to be playing up unless they want to bring up Faye for some outside shooting for the varsity game. For the Braves, we will probably see Chris Hamilton might get a little time up as a ball handler, and Tad DeBoer's been suiting up for the varsity also as well.
Nice loose ball, and Kevin Smith goes for it. Could have been a jump, but he does a nice job getting it to Terrence McDaniel. Braves get it under control. Chris Hamilton. Long rebound goes to the Cowboys.
And that's really not Chris's range there. He's more of a driver, not an outside shooter.
And a foul on the Braves as number 33, Jared Fay, took it to the basket. Did a nice job setting up his man from the outside who couldn't let him take that shot. Got that quick first step, got to the basket, beat his man, the help side man, fouled him. 2 shots. It's only the third team foul on the Braves, so not even close to the bonus just yet. First shot is no good. Making all those threes, the short one from the foul line doesn't go. Isn't that the way it always is? Make the tough shots, miss the easy ones. Second one is no good. Brian Walker with a nice rebound. He generally will push that ball up the floor once he gets it. Doesn't look too much to the outlet pass.
Good look. Terrence is probably going to call that a pass when,
yes.
he looks at the, when he looks at the video. He's going to say, I meant to do that. I saw Brendan open, so I thought I'd fake the shot and make the nice lob pass.
Braves looking to do a little bit of trapping there as he came down the floor. Now they're back into their man-to-man. And Matt Mefford. Once again, that standing set shot, but Curtis Carter puts it back in. He's doing a nice job on the offensive boards.
That's 10 for Curtis Carter, and Mefford has 12. Well, I'm sorry, 10. So they're getting 20 points from their inside players, their post players.
Little indecision on the part of Chris Hamilton that time leads to the turnover. It'll be Cowboy ball with a 3-point lead. 6 minutes and 42 seconds left in the quarter. Cowboys break the press and attack, and we have an offensive foul against Jared Fay.
A.J. Hill stepped in there. Nice position. Sometimes those taking the charge can really turn the momentum as the Braves are find themselves down by 3 with 6.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Cowboys are in their 1-3-1.
Nice ball movement around. Good rebound by Brian Walker, and the ball just bounces right back out, similar to the way it did in the second quarter.
That's why they got to use that backboard. It's up there for a reason. It's not just decorative.
Curtis Carter fights his way to get in there.
And I think that was a good no call by the ref. It could have gone maybe either way. Just let the guys play.
Three-point attempt by Brian Walker is good. That brings the Braves back within 2. We get to the 5.5-minute mark. Cowboys are back in that high-low. Once again, looking for somebody to break somebody to the baseline and then back to the middle. Matt Mefford makes a nice move, and that extends the lead to 4 for the Wyoming Cowboys. Nice look inside by Chris Hamilton, but Brendan Flood couldn't quite handle that pass, a little bit too high. Skip pass across to Brian Walker. He drives the baseline, does a nice job.
Real nice move by Brian. He's heating up a little. He's got 7. We're seeing some production from a couple freshmen in the fourth quarter. Both Brian Walker and Brendan Flood have really heated up, and they're going to force the Cowboys to call a timeout.
Timeout on the floor with the Indian Hill Braves down 2 to the Wyoming Cowboys, and I think what they want to do is they want to try to take the ball maybe out of Brian Walker's hands a little bit. He's hurt him on the last 2 possessions, and they're probably wondering whether or not they can put some pressure to keep him from getting the ball.
The Cowboys are they're scoring almost all from just 3 players. Jared Fay is leading them with 16. Curtis Carter has 12, and Matt Mefford also has 12. The Braves have been spreading the scoring around a little more. Tad DeBoard has 11. Terrence McDaniel has 7. Brendan Flood has 6 in this last quarter. Brian Walker has 7. And Chris Hamilton has 6. Down by 2. With the Braves are down by 2, and Wyoming has the ball. I think that Coach Hoover is going to ask the Braves to just play tough defense, get a nice defensive stop, come down the floor, and I would think that he probably is going to want the Braves to be patient. Unless they have an obvious fast break, he's not going to want them to force anything at this time of the game. He's going to want to get all the baskets that he can and make sure that he the Braves look through all their options on offense.
Well, Steve Bell, obviously, that timeout was really more of a defensive timeout than an offense. His offense has been looking pretty good, but he just wanted to probably make an adjustment to that Braves offense. And here come the Cowboys. Cowboys moving around. They're trying to get the ball into the hands of one of their 3 scorers. And they didn't see Curtis Carter. Now they find him on the inside, and he does make him pay.
He might have had a couple baby steps in there before he popped that ball up for his 14th point.
Somebody missed an assignment. He was wide open in the lane. Also could have been a 3-second call. He was open for an awfully long time. Grant Collinsworth for 3. Nice rebound again by Curtis Carter. He's doing a nice job on the boards here in this 4th quarter.
Sure is.
Get the ball to Jared Fay, and he finds Matt Mefford inside, a little bit short, but the loose ball goes to Curtis Carter, and he puts it back in.
Curtis Carter is just in the right place at the right time.
Indian Hill player who perhaps stepped on somebody's foot, twisted his ankle a little bit, and they are going to substitute for him. That basket by Curtis Carter puts the Cowboys back up by 6. 3 minutes and 56 seconds left here in the 4th quarter.
Still a lot of time left. The Braves don't have to start lighting it up or tossing up the threes or going to the fouling game.
Once again, the zone is now more of a 1-2-2, but it's leaving Brian Walker open on this far side, on the left-hand side. Instead of staying there, though, for the skip pass, he moves to the center. And in trying to throw the ball through traffic, the foul is committed by number 41, Curtis Carter, and that's his 4th. And Steve Bell will substitute for him as quickly as he can. He might need him in the last couple of minutes of the game. So with 3:39 to go, Curtis Carter has to be taken out of the game. Let's see if that makes a difference in the way the Braves attack the boards.
Nice look inside by Brian Walker.
Nice
Sees Tad DeBoard wide open.
Cuts the lead to 4. Braves go back into their soft press. It's across, and they're now in their man-to-man. So again, the entry on their offense for Wyoming is always down there to the baseline. They haven't had really much trouble at all getting the ball to that spot, and then they look for somebody coming to the middle. Nice pass by number 22, Chris Renegarb, to 53, Randy Lowe. That hurt.
Those are Randy Lowe's first 2 points of the game. He didn't see much time even in the first half.
It's a 6-point lead for the Cowboys. Braves looked at that skip pass back across to Brian Walker. He finds Brendan Flood inside. He was wide open, and when he turned, he wasn't ready to shoot and didn't go. Nice rebound by Tad DeBoard. How did he do that? Very athletic move. Did not use the backboard, and it goes in.
Now, you know Tad's going to be looking for that on Sports Center. Craig Kilborn's probably going to say something about it tonight at 11.
That's correct.
I believe that's channel 41 on your Warner cable.
And he is a freshman, is that right?
No, Tad's a sophomore.
Sophomore?
And he's steadily improved since middle school.
Okay.
He's also grown a lot. Tad. It's interesting. Tad hurt himself. Actually, he had a terrible injury in soccer. I believe he had a terrible hip injury. Didn't finish the soccer season. He was the varsity goalie for the start of the season, and he wasn't able to finish the soccer season. And it was unknown if he was going to play basketball, but he's really come back.
He tried to take the charge on that one and just didn't quite have his feet set, so there's a foul on him. And now that's 14 fouls on the Braves, so we're still not in the Cowboys are still not in the 1-1. Braves doing a nice job now moving to that pass that goes to the baseline.
The Cowboys are really spreading out their offense. They're set on just waiting out and trying to get that open shot.
Nobody goes out with Jared Fay to the corner. Luckily, Tad DeBoard gets there. So again, they're looking inside and outside. The help side man on the far side was Brian Walker that time, and he cheated a little bit towards the ball side of the floor. There goes Jared Fay, and a nice little dish-off pass to 41, Curtis Carter, who's re-entered the ball game, and that puts the Cowboys up by 6. Grant Collinsworth for a 3, a little bit short, and Jason Johnson with the rebound.
Got a minute and a half left. The Braves are probably going to have to start going to the fouling game. They're going to have to attack the ball, try and get a steal, and if not, get the bonus. They've only got 14 fouls.
14 fouls, so the best they can do is try to steal inbound. Once again, Matt Mefford inside. He's pretty much of a load to handle, and he puts it in, and that gives an 8-point lead to the Cowboys. Timeout by Indian Hill. And a little indecisive there where they wanted to call a timeout or whether they wanted to try to push it in and get a basket and then call a timeout.
Well, they're going to have to do something with a minute 10 left and down by 8, and what they're going to have to do is just stop the inside game. Curtis Carter has really come alive in the third and fourth quarter, and most of his buckets are just he's in the right place at the right time, and he's putting the ball in soft off the glass.
Does a nice job taking a power move to the basket.
He's got 18 points, and Matt Mefford, their other post player, has 14 points. Then they also had some good balance with Jared Fay on the outside, who hit those 3 3-pointers in the third quarter. Those 3 guys have been the killers for the Cowboys tonight. I think we're probably going to see the Braves look for, depending on who's in, their better outside shooters. Grant Collinsworth will probably see the ball in his hand outside the arc. Brian Walker will probably take the shots outside the arc. Tad DeBoer will fire some up too. Brian Combs is in. He's a ball hawk. He's a good defender, and Coach Hoover is probably going to send him after the basketball.
Okay, Ryan Walker takes the ball to the hoop. He does a good job. Every time he takes the ball and attacks, he does a pretty good job. Now that press by the Braves. The Cowboys do a nice job of beating it. Let's see if they try to attack the basket or take it back out front and hold the ball a little bit.
50 seconds left. There's a first foul.
Foul by Brian Combs.
Braves need 2 more to get in the bonus.
It's only the 15th foul, so it'll be Wyoming ball out of bounds. 52.8 seconds on the clock. Braves will contest this inbounds pass. And they do get it inbounds to Jason Johnson. He's immediately tied up again by Brian Combs. And that'll be his 3rd foul. That'll be the 6th. Is that the 16th foul?
Yeah, that should be the 16th foul for the Braves. This next one will put the Cowboys at the stripe. Best thing now for the Braves would be to get a 5-second call, see how their defense can hold up here.
Either that or maybe foul on the inbounds, but don't let them get an easy shot. And they get it right to the man they don't want, Curtis Carter. It bounces, and he's over the back, and that means the Braves will be in the 1-1. Tad DeBoard will go to the other end and shoot 1 in the bonus.
No, it's definitely over the back. Curtis is he's arguing it a little, but
and that's his 5th foul, so he's out of the game.
I think the guys in the white shirts wish that happened with 47 seconds left in the third quarter instead of the fourth quarter.
Well, that's always the way it goes. You miss one that you should have made, and you get a little frustrated trying to make up for it on defense, and he went over the back. Tad DeBoard at the line, 1-1, a chance to cut the lead to 5.
Coach Bell has to be happy, though, with Carter's performance, especially in the second half. Totaled 18 points for the game. Most of those came in the third and the fourth quarter.
Free throws so important in a game like this. Chance to this first one to cut it to 5, and he does. Next one will cut it to 4. Then the Braves will be back in their full court press. Second one is also good. It's a 4-point game. Full court press. They get the ball in the backcourt to Matt Mefford, and he finds down all the way down the floor. And then Wyoming pulls it back out. So again, and there is a foul there. And that'll send number 21, Jason Johnson, to the line for the one in the bonus.
That was a pretty hard foul, and of course, everybody on Wyoming is going to be wanting an intentional foul call. But the fact of the matter is, all of these fouls are intentional.
Brian Walker going for the ball, and Jason Johnson did hurt his elbow just a little bit. Let's see if it affects his stroke on this free throw.
Jason went down hard in that second quarter, but he's responded to play pretty well on the perimeter and pushing the ball up for the Cowboys in the second half.
First one is good. Extends the lead back to 5. See how the Braves push the ball up the floor if he misses this one. 37.2 ticks left on the clock. Second one is a little strong. Tad DeBoard with the rebound. Pushes the ball to Brian Walker, who generally will push it as deep as he can. He does, and it's way short. Tad DeBoard attempts to save it, but it's out of bounds, and it'll be Wyoming ball. Braves now trying to stop the inbound, down 5 with 27.3 seconds left on the clock.
They can't even wait for a 10-second call. They got a foul on the inbounds.
Get the ball into the one man they probably didn't want to handle it, and that's Jason Johnson. And he does a nice job pushing the ball up and drawing the foul.
Cut about 2 or 3 seconds off the game clock, and those 2 to 3 seconds could mean the difference.
Well, probably there's a guy on the Wyoming team they would rather have at the line, so they didn't want that inbound pass to come to Jason Johnson. They probably wanted to get it to somebody else, but
I think they would love to have their big guy, Matt Mefford. I mean, he's got the softest touch out there. He's 4 for 4 from the line. Other than him and Matt Fischler, who is 2 for 2, the Cowboys have really put up some rim rattlers from the charity
Jason
stripe.
Johnson misses it. Grant Collinsworth pushes it up to Brian Walker, who loses the ball. Brendan Flood calls timeout. A smart move. If he tried to get up, it would have been a traveling call. He didn't see anybody open, and that's going to give the Braves an opportunity to get a quick inbounds pass, a shot. And I wonder how many timeouts they've got left now, Coach.
I'm thinking that they probably have 1 timeout left. I believe the Cowboys have 2 and the Braves have 1 timeout left.
Okay, so if they score, they will have an opportunity to call timeout and stop the clock and set up an inbounds defense.
What I think is probably going to happen is if the Braves do score a 2, if the Braves score 2, they'll probably call a timeout and try and set up some type of inbound defense. If they get a 3, they'll probably just play tough defense, maybe get it over to half court and foul, hoping that the Cowboy will, whatever Cowboy they send to the line, will miss the first of the 1-and-1.
Once again, a couple of guys that perhaps Coach Hoover is picking out, saying, if we score and they get the ball out of bounds, let's make sure the ball goes into somebody's hand other than Matt Mefford or Jason Johnson. Or for that matter, Chris Renegard, Jared Fay. Braves get it inbound. Brian Walker finds Grant Collinsworth in the corner, and they push it inside to Tad DeBoard. Nice basket. No timeout on the part of now. The Braves get that timeout. 7.7 seconds left on the clock and a 3-point lead for the Cowboys.
You know, in this case, the 3 or 2 didn't really matter. What they needed was the bucket, and they got the bucket.
Probably lost about 1.1 to 1.3 seconds on as soon as that ball went in, somebody had to remind them that they wanted to take that timeout. After we come back out on the floor, Wyoming's going to be able to run the baseline to throw the ball in bounds. Let's see once again if they look long or whether they just try to get it in bounds. If they get it in short along the Indian Hill baseline, then probably we'll see a quick foul. If they get it long, maybe the Braves will have a chance for a steal. So we're just about to the end of the JV game on homecoming night here at Indian Hill. This is winter homecoming tonight. Festivities at halftime of the varsity game.
Coach Bell's probably telling his players that he wants just to get the ball in. He's probably got a couple guys he wants to get the ball into. I would think that Jared Fay, they're going to look to Jared Fay to get the ball in. And Mike Walker is in the game. He was brought in the game, must be for free throw shooting purposes. They're also going to have to look deep.
is on Jason Johnson. They get the ball into and there is a foul right away. And the foul is on Brendan Flood, or on Tad DeBoer. They foul number 42, Mike Walker. He has not been to the line or in the game a whole lot tonight, so that was probably the man that they wanted. And let's see if it pays off in terms of the missed free throw. So with 6.5 seconds left, number 42, sophomore Mike Walker, 5'10", 165-pounder at the line. And
Braves made a substitute for number 14, Ben Hall. Ben's a freshman, but he's got a real sweet outside shot. The Braves have all five guys that the Braves have on the court right now have been known to toss up the three, and they're not bad shooters at all.
And the first free throw is missed. That was the 10th foul, so it's 2 shots on the super bonus. He misses the first one, and that didn't cost the Braves, and now they'll be looking to rebound the ball and push it up the floor. Second one is up, and it's good. That makes a 4-point lead, and the Braves, Brian Walker pushes it up the floor. He shoots a 3. It's no good. Tad DeBoer with the rebound to Grant Collinsworth, who shoots at the buzzer. No good. Great, well-played game by both teams. Wyoming Cowboys final 62-59.
Actually, I think they didn't tack that last free throw up. It's going to be 63-59. They didn't count Walker's last free throw.
Yeah. So we'll say 63-59. JV game. Cowboys winners over the Indian Hill Braves.
Real quick, we're gonna say goodbye for this game. Once again, the final score was 63-59. Wyoming Cowboy JV taking down the Indian Hill Braves at home. This has been a production of Indian Hill High School Video.
Anthony DeMarco was the director today, and Mr. Dennis Stubbs is the head of the Indian Hill Special Video Department.